Hey guys, Xaoslegend here. So it's been a few days since the rest of the visual spoiler for Rise of the Eldrazi has come out, so we've seen everything now. I haven't looked at the common breakdown, uncommon breakdown to see what limited was going to be like too much, but we can just kind of have an overall thing about it. Just kind of go over some of the key points really quick. I'm not sure if I talked about Eldrazi Conscription yet. It's an 8 mana tribal enchantment. Gives your creature +10/+10 and Annihilator 2 and Trample, so pretty sick. There's ways to cheat enchantments out in the future. I mean, that might be a big part of those decks, so look at those to be kind of Reanimator decks, except they're, enchantment decks. So that's kind of a cool card, and it's a rare. Talked about Emrakul a while ago. We've got Hand of Emrakul here. It's got some decent artwork. It's kind of cool. I like him being on top of the mountains here. 7/7 for 9. It's common, so you're going to see this in draft a lot. And you can sack 4 Eldrazi spawn rather than paying his mana cost. So, I don't think there's anything by itself that makes 4 in one turn. Nothing cheap anyway. So it would take a couple of effects to get that going. And he's got Annihilator 1, so certainly something to look out for to see whether your deck can support it or not. So the better players, it'll be a big skill tester, right? Like, the better players will know when they can play it, they'll know how to support it, they'll know when it should stay in their sideboard. So definitely kind of a cool card. Got It That Betrays, which is kind of weird looking. 12 for an 11/11. Annihilator 2. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, you can put that card onto the battlefield under your control. And he doesn't get shuffled into your library when he goes to the graveyard. So, he could be a piece of a Reanimator strategy that would be kind of interesting. Not of This World is an interesting card. I think its hard cast is really silly because you're never going to cast it for that. Or almost never. Like, it just might as well not be there. It's such like an afterthought of the card to have that casting cost. It might as well have no casting cost and only be castable for its like trap value, right? So it's 7 mana tribal instant Eldrazi, and it just counters a target spell or ability that targets a permanent you control. Now it costs 7 less if it targets a spell or ability that targets a creature you control with 7 power, or power 7 or greater. So, drop your It That Betrays with your Reanimator. They try and swords it or Path to Exile it. You go, "It's not of this world," like Jesus, and then they cry, right, and you win. So, which is kind of silly that they use that phrase, "not of this world," like all the people with their stickers on their cards. Anyway. It was a weird alien thing, like alien Jesus. Someone's got to make like put like a cross behind him and have nails and right here. Anyway, Pathrazer of Ulamog we've seen, Skittering Invasion we've seen, Spawnsire of Ulamog. It's another Eldrazi that you can reanimate. 10 for a 7/11, Annihilator 1. Put 2/0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have sacrifice this creature, add 1 to your mana pool, make the tokens. And then for 20 mana, pretty silly, you can cast any number of Eldrazi cards you own from outside the game without paying their mana cost. Now, I'm pretty sure this means the cards from your sideboard, not any card you own, unless it's a casual game, and then it is any card you own. So you use this ability, and then I guess you just win. And it says to cast them, so you get all their cast effects. So, he's 10 for a 7/11, he's big, he's got the Annihilator 1, sure, why not. He can make chump blockers, kind of like a Sliver Queen. Alright, now we've got, let's see, Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, not sure if I talked about him yet. 11 for a 10/10, Annihilator 4, he has the, when he goes to the graveyard, shuffle your graveyard into your library clause, so you're not going to be able to, cheat him out too easily. Let's see, when you cast him, destroy target permanent, so that's cool, Vindicate, and then he's indestructible. This might be the best one of the Eldrazi, just because He stops something aggressive of theirs immediately, and he's indestructible. You know, of all the ones that you would hardcast, the Annihilator 4 is insane. So, then they got the Ulamog's Crusher dude. So he's got the Annihilator 2, attacks each turn if able. You know, 8 for an 8/8. Once again, skill tester. Can you support it or can't you support it? Is it right for your deck or is it not right for your deck? Common, right? So that's kind of cool. There's a lot of skill testers, so for limited, that's kind of cool, right? All right. See the picture of the Guard Hound here. Not too exciting. Caravan Escort. I hadn't seen earlier, so I think this is one I never talked about. How good is he in limited? Obviously he's common, so he's kind of like your grizzly bear creature for limited, but he can upgrade to be insane. So I think I would always play him. I don't think I would take him highly. I would take him mid, and then I would just always play him. I mean, being able to drop him for 1 and then make him a 2/2 for 2, and then eventually he becomes insane. Sure, it's always a nice backup plan. So. Definitely a good value card, but not insane or that exciting. Just kind of a filler, creature. See, Dawn Glare Invoker. So we've got the Invokers back, except they're common this time. I think they were uncommon last time. Maybe they were common. And just like last time, they basically say once players start to get to this mana cost or this mana level, the game's going to end fairly quickly. And these ones are even worse than the original ones were. So he's 3 for a 2/1 flyer. So just off the bat, he's way better than the original Invokers were back in the day. And then his ability, 8, tap all creatures target player controls. I mean, okay. It's just going to end the game really fast, right? Either you do it on their turn and then attack with all your guys, or if you can kill them immediately, you can do it on your turn. Either way, it's going to be over in limited. See, Demystify is back. Seems like a reasonable enough staple card, so that's fine. Destroy target enchantment. How many enchantments are there? Well, you've got the common cycle of the Umbras, which will probably be played fairly highly. And you'll be able to trick them into letting you kill their guy for free, so you can get a 2 for 1 with the Demystify. You block their guy with their Umbra, you kill the Umbra before damage, then their guy dies. And doesn't kill your guy because it's not big enough or whatever, hopefully. Gideon Jura. We'll see how good he ends up being. He's in the 5 casting cost, Planeswalker zone. I haven't been too upset about Planeswalkers being mythic, just because they have that legendary clause, so you can't play too many of them, or you really wouldn't want to. And once you get up to the 5-6 casting cost, it really doesn't become that big of an issue. Everyone's talked about him. He can make himself a 6/6 creature that can't be dealt damage that turn, which you can only use the turn after he comes into play, right? You can destroy a tapped creature with him, and then you can make all your opponent's creatures attack him next turn. So I think he's probably pretty solid. I don't think he's as good as Elspeth, though. Maybe he is. I don't know. The destroying a creature part is pretty sick. Alright, we've got Emerge Unscathed. It's a decent combat trick. Uncommon. It's one of the rebound. It's like the white rebound. So it gives one of your creatures protection from the color of your choice until end of turn.